What do you know about sheep? Well, they're not very smart. They're pretty stubborn. They lose their way easily and they have no sense of direction. They have a tendency to wander off and go astray. They're not aware of dangers, such as cliffs or wild animals. And it's hard for them if they fall to get back up. They are helpless and totally dependent on somebody or something else. A sheep cannot survive without a shepherd. And Jesus is our good shepherd. He shows compassion that cares. He shows that he cares for the sheep. He desires to help, not just sheep, but us. We are the sheep. The Bible said that we are the sheep of his pasture. So today our story is Jesus, the Good Shepherd. Jesus traveled throughout the land of Israel. He went to the towns and villages, teaching the people. He shared with them the good news about God's kingdom, and he healed every disease and disability among the people. Wherever Jesus went, huge crowds gathered to hear what he had to say. Many people hoped that they would be healed. As Jesus stood among the people, he was filled with compassion for them. Jesus knew that they were scattered like lost sheep without a shepherd, and they needed someone to lead them and care for them. Jesus knew the people were in need of his help to find hope and salvation. In those days, the people understood that the job of a shepherd was to protect and care for the sheep. Jesus said about himself, I am the good shepherd. I'm not like a shepherd who has been hired to take care of the sheep. A hired shepherd runs away when he sees a wolf coming. He doesn't care about the sheep because he doesn't own them. Jesus explained that a good shepherd will risk his life to keep his sheep safe. Jesus said that one day he would give up his own life for all people so that they would be able to have everlasting life with him in heaven. One day, Jesus was talking to a crowd of people. The religious leaders in the crowd complained to Jesus, saying that he shouldn't talk to those that they considered bad and sinful, let alone spend time with them. So Jesus began to tell a story about a lost sheep. He wanted to explain why he spent time with sinners. He asked all the people present, suppose you have 100 sheep, but one becomes lost. Wouldn't you leave the 99 sheep to search for the one lost sheep? Of course you would. And then, when you have found the lost sheep, you'd be so happy. You'd place the sheep on your shoulders, head home, and call all your family and friends to rejoice with you. Jesus was making a point to all the people. He seeks those who are lost from him. He explained to the religious leaders as well as the others that there's more joy in heaven over one sinner who turns to God than over 99 righteous people who need no repentance. Let me tell you another story. This is a true story about a four-year-old named Crippa. 4-year-old Crippa was watching as the sky lit up fireworks at a huge celebration. Thousands of people were enjoying the festivities, game booths, and different ethnic foods from other countries. As Crippa's family walked around, Crippa saw a fun game and wandered off the path. Her parents had told her to stay close to them, but Crippa disobeyed them. The next thing Crippa knew, she could not see her family. At the same time, her family realized that Crippa was missing, but they could not find her in the large crowd. It became dark, and everyone in Crippa's family was worried. They stopped and prayed to God for help and guidance. After looking for Crippa for some time, they found her sitting on a blanket with someone who was watching over her. This person had calmed Crippa's fears about being away from the protection of her parents. Crippa was sorry for disobeying her parents. Her parents hugged her tight and carried her home. Do you know what it feels like when you're away from the protection of somebody who cares for you? Have you ever got lost? Well, Jesus looks for the lost sheep, and he will look for us. Let me ask you some questions, see what you remember. Why did Jesus have compassion on the crowds of people around him? What did Jesus know about the people that caused him to want to help them? How is the story of Crippa like the description of Jesus as a shepherd searching for his lost sheep? Maybe you can discuss these with somebody at home and talk about the Good Shepherd and how he looks for us. See you next time.